international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Millennium News 24 Power Talk Show. I'm your host, Eric Stevenson. I'm with you. Very great day. Another opportunity to be in front of the people with another great guest. Today, we only have one guest, but he's enough of a guest as one person. We have Mr. Jacob Milton. He's a host of his own show, Straight Talk, that's celebrated over 100 episodes of great talk and empowering people. And he's the president and CEO of a great human rights organization that's much needed in this day and time. Welcome, Mr. Milton.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Brother Eric Stevenson. You are also a great community activist. You mobilize people in your community and you try to facilitate all those community people on the right track. You did your best in your lifetime. That's a great achievement when I'm looking into your lifetime. So I'm really happy and proud to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So why don't you just give us a little information about your organization and what you do, and then we'll go into exactly what we're dealing with today.
Well, I'm running a human and civil rights organization called We Are the People, based in Queens, New York. Most of the time, we support the immigrants from South Asia and minority people, African American, Spanish, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Indian, Myanmar, Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, everyone that coming to America and try to integrate themselves into American mainstream society, media, and politics. And that's what we do. And my organization, when people are coming from abroad, they need support, legal help. So I have plenty of organization and attorneys, those who are helping them. There is also another organization called Legal Network. We have a total of 33 American attorneys, those who are helping all those immigrants coming from all over the world.
That's great. 33 attorneys?
33 attorneys working for Legal Network, supporting all the new immigrants, those who are coming to America to obtain their legal status, helping them to get their work authorization, helping them to get their social security number. At the same time, there's a lots of loophole. When those immigrants are sending their children to the school, sending their children or go themselves to the hospital, there is some bureaucratic loophole that they are struggling with. So what my organization does, helping them with the interpreter, helping them with the attorneys, helping them with the driving, take them to place, whatever we can do to make their life easier in this great country.
Are you getting any success in with helping the people?
If you are asking about getting success, I'll tell you one thing. My organization is working since 2011 as of today. For example, we filed over 1,100 asylum applications. Guess what? 76% of our application had the success.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations.
We did more than 37 deportation cases. Guess what? We failed just in one case, and all of the other cases we become successful. We stopped the deportation.
Great. That's a great success rate.
I'm so proud of it.
More the people I think need to know about your organization, because I'm hearing a lot of people who's coming to me, who's calling, who's in the situation of needing to file asylum and whatever the case may be. We have as the local organizations and masjid here, what a lot of the masjids are trying to help and assist these migrants. And, some don't know any better and they're running out of time. Some are given the 1 year time to file asylum. And if you don't meet the clock, then guess what? You're out of luck.
Yes.
There's no forgiveness unless you can prove that you had a heart attack or was in the hospital and documentation, then maybe they reconsider. But other than that, you're out of luck.
There is another thing I can do. I cannot counsel them over the phone, over the internet, over the television. I cannot say that. Even some immigrants came to this country, whether legally or illegally. They are here for suppose more than a year or more than 2 years. Still, there is some tools that we can use to get the legal status. Now, we cannot offer those advice on a television interview. If those people are visiting my office, I'm going to put them with a couple of attorneys. They're going to advise them. And by the way, when people are coming to my office, meeting those attorneys, consultancy is free of cost. They don't have to pay nothing. Just come and talk one of the attorneys. And another thing, our community, not only Bangladeshi, Indian, Pakistani community, it's all over immigrant community, whether they're African American, whether they're Latinos, whether they're Asian or Chinese or Korean. There is an issue. Every community has issues. There is some people pretend to be an attorney, pretend to be a paralegal. For example, I'm not an attorney, but I went to law school. I don't represent them. Even I went to law school because I didn't take the bar exam. I don't have a law license. I'm not an attorney. But guess what? 33 attorneys, those who are working for me 24/7. Question is, if I go into the community and claim that I'm a paralegal or I'm an attorney, that's a danger for the community. In Bangladeshi community, even in African American community, and even Latino communities, those people are all over. They open up a storefront, they claim that they're attorney. And what else they do? They just get one or two attorneys' name or their picture, put their picture in front of their storefront and claim that they're running a law firm. And guess what? They destroy the life of new immigrants who are coming to this country and taking money. We have to be very careful. We have to tell our people that, listen, if you go to Jacob Milton, make sure that Jacob Milton is not an attorney and he said it up front. So wherever you go, you have to know who is the attorney is going to represent you. If you don't see a licensed attorney talking to you, don't go with them.
No, I know you have a great reputation. I don't think that's an issue with you or your organization. People know you. I've seen the billboards up. I've seen the signs. I don't think you would be in business so long if you didn't have good reputation, especially in the legal business. So that's what I'll say. So we congratulate you for the great work and hope and pray that you continue on and God give you the strength to fulfill more of your work and helping the people who needs it most.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
But okay, before we move, we're gonna just take a quick break and we come right back because we have some disturbing news, information going on that we have to discuss, and we're gonna need your input today, Mr. Milton.
Absolutely.
Sure. Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also on Smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com. And that's www.millenniumnews24.com and through our social media, Millennium News. See you then. Welcome back to Millennium News 24 Power Talk with your host, Eric Stevenson. and we was talking with Mr. Jacob Milton here. So we're back. Mr. Milton, I want to now go into some troubling news and troubling things that we're hearing, that we're getting complaints that's going on in the country of Bangladesh. To my knowledge, there's been a minimum of 500 students killed, and I think even up to until yesterday, an additional 100+ people under the hands, they say, of an order and control of the prime minister. Is this correct?
I'll give you the number. As a matter of fact, since that student protest began until 23rd of July, total of 1,379 people got killed by the hand of the mercenaries of a ruling party, Awami League, along with the police forces. And there is a paramilitary group, a Rapid Action Battalion, and there is another paramilitary group called Bangladesh Border Guard. And all those killing took place with the direct support of the state of India. India is the country. Those who try to have a grips on Bangladesh through current prime minister. This prime minister Hasina Sheikh do not have any legitimacy to hold the position of prime ministership, but she is holding it for the last 16 years without having one fair and participatory election.
So would you say responsibility falls under her leadership?
I would say without Indian support, there is no power of Hasina Sheikh. If you are asking as a chief executive of the country, does that responsibility goes on the shoulder of Hasina Sheikh, the prime minister of Bangladesh? Absolutely, because she is holding the position.
So is she in a position to stop this or prevent this?
She can, but she is not going to do that, because when you are holding a position of prime ministership, and once you know that once you are going to be thrown out from your position, you are going to end up in prison and getting a death sentence. What do you think? She's going to stop?
So what is the rebellion all about? What is it all about for the listeners who don't know what's going on?
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. This episode starts with the quota system of the government job. Mm-hmm. There is a quota system for the minority, quota system for the handicapped people, for the quota system for minority group, religious minority. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, government comes up and says, we are going to issue a quota, 30% of the government job will go to the children of the freedom fighter. Mm-hmm. Now, here is the problem. Liberation War took place in 1970s. Mm-hmm. So, if it is 70s, as of today, it's a 53 years ago. Now, in 53 years, earlier, a freedom fighter fought. So, at that time, if it is 53, add another 20 years, because at the age of 20 years, they were the freedom fighter. So if it is 20 years and 53, it's 73 years. 73 years old freedom fighter, his children should be 40 years old, 50 years old, or at least 38, 39 years old. That age is not going to qualify for the government position in Bangladesh. Now, that is one problem. There is second problem. None of the freedom fighters are demanding that our grandchildren must have quota system. And they are undermining based on qualification that people should get appointed. Another thing, if it is 30%, then government is holding 56%, a special quota for the people that they don't deserve, whereas The students by merit, those who are qualified for the government position, they are not getting the position. Now, what is the another issues? The 30% quotas for the freedom fighter is not exactly for the children of freedom fighters. Then why Prime Minister Hasina is holding that 30% for the children of freedom fighters? Her secrecy is she is inviting Indian citizens illegally into Bangladesh and offering them those quotas. They are appointing. Bangladeshi people are not getting the position, government position by merit, but Indian citizens infiltrating in Bangladesh and getting that position.
So how is she the Prime Minister of Bangladesh and elected by the people of Bangladesh, and she's representing the interests of India over Bangladesh citizens?
There is the catch. Hasina never got elected by the vote of the citizen of Bangladesh. What every election cycle, Indian external minister, Indian army chief, Indian head of the RAW is coming to Bangladesh and putting all those folks, those who are getting paid by India, telling them who will be the prime minister, who will be the leader of opposition, who will be the chief of army, who will be the chief of air force. And guess what? They hold a mock election where none of the voter can go to the polling booth and cast their vote. In last election took place in 7th of January 2024. Mr. Stevenson, you will be surprised, only 3% voter were being allowed to go to the polling booth and vote. What about 97% of the people? They are not even allowed to go to the polling booth and vote. And when they tried to go to the polling booth, police arrested them, police killed them, they burned their house. Police is giving a condition. If you don't vote for the government party, you are going to lose your land. You are going to lose your ration. You are going to lose your government benefit.
So where's the law and order in this country? I mean, where's the law and order?
There is no law and order.
Where's democracy?
Mr. Stevenson, there is no law and order in Bangladesh. I'll tell you what happened to the Chief Justice of the Bangladesh. One of the guy was the Chief Justice. His name was Surendra Kumar Sinha. He was the Chief Justice of Bangladesh. Guess what? In the middle of the night, couple of army officers with the help of Indian forces and some armed mercenary, those who are working for Prime Minister, went to the house of the Chief Justice. And guess what? They wake him up 1 in the morning, slap him, put a gun into his head and force him to go into exile. So do you think that country can have a judicial process?
So where is he at now? Where is he at now?
He's in Canada right now.
Wow.
He was in America. He came to my office for help. I helped him.
Wow.
But right now, he got his legal status in Canada where he's hiding. He cannot even go back to Bangladesh.
Wow.
And you ask, what is the justice? What is the judiciary? Guess what? They are imprisoned. One of the former Prime Minister, Khaleda Zia, for the last 7-8 years, with a charge that never took place. They are saying the former Prime Minister, Begum Khaleda Zia, stole 2 crore Bangladeshi taka, equivalent of 75,000 American dollar. What happened? No one stole that money. That money is still in the bank account of a not-for-profit organization. No one even touched that money. With the interest rate, that money become more than 2 crore taka. But still, just to take a revenge against a prime minister or depose her or give her a hard time, current prime minister wrote that decision for a magistrate that put her into prison for 6 to 8 years.
So this is like an actual genocide on your own people.
No, it's like mafia. You remember Godfather?
Yes.
That's the way my country is running right now.
So these armed mercenaries, are they of Bangladeshi descent, or are they coming from India, or where are they from?
70% are Bangladeshi descent and 30% are coming from paramilitary and the military and the police from India.
So has there been any action or with the international court, or could something be taken to the international court to do something?
That's what I'm trying to do. Every week or at least once or twice a month, I am at the State Department. I ask those questions squarely. I ask Matthew Miller. I meet congressmen over there. From the Foreign Relations Committee. I try to speak to some of the senator, Foreign Relations Committee at the Senate. Here is the problem, my brother.
Yes.
Most of our Bangladeshi brother and sister, they have one bad habit. They are good at writing check for the public official and take a picture and post that picture into social media. I get Eric Stevenson. But here is the problem. We never ask Eric Stevenson that what can you do for my country or for the community. They never ask. And do you know why they don't ask? Because they're not educated. They're not properly educated. They don't even know what to ask.
Well, I think there's going to have to be an education process now. I mean, a quick, massive education process of the Bangladesh community as well as the non-Bangladesh community here in this country. There has to be mobilization, education process, and political action has to be taken to do something about this. We're in the middle of a presidential election right now in America. I don't know how it's going to end up, but right now, Kamala Harris is the vice president. Right now, Joe Biden is the president. Maybe he wants to do something in good faith effort before he leaves office and deal with this problem about Bangladesh. But pressure has to be put on America to take action. You need to take pressure down to the United Nations, the International Court. I don't believe that nothing, when people say nothing can be done, I don't believe that. Something can be done, but it's just going to take unity and action. You know, and I mean, how many Bangladesh people live in America?
A couple of 100,000.
Couple of hundreds of thousands, right? So that's a possible couple of 100,000 of votes, right?
Yes.
That could definitely swing a presidential election, right?
Absolutely.
So people need to now do a letter writing campaign. We need to do a protest in Washington, D.C., and we need to demand justice that they do something about this.
Brother Stevenson, there is one problem. You remember in mid-40s, 50s, 60s, when there is some people from our community, we colored people from our community, people used to work for human rights activities, civil rights activists. They were saying they're the community leader. But behind that scene, they were being bribed by the government, suppressing their own people. Still, we have some people in the community, those who pretend to be a community activist, but they are not community activists.
Imposters.
Yeah, in the same thing goes to Bangladeshi people. Same thing goes to Indian and immigrant community. They are pretending. How many Bangladeshi activists you know? You can talk about name and I can tell you exactly what is their background, what exactly they do. I know you know at least dozens or 2 dozens of Bangladeshi leaders. As of today, I cannot name one person out of that 12 or 20 people you know that they're the true activists, other than pocketing money for their own interest, not for the interest of the immigrant community, not for the interest of the Bangladeshi community, not for the interest of the American community.
That's true.
They are just for themselves.
That's true. We're going to have to take another break and come right back. Just hold your seat. We have to finish this. We need solutions.
We do.
Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also on Smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com. And that's www.millenniumnews24.com. And through our social media, Millennium News. See you there. Welcome back to Millennium News 24 Power Talk. I'm your host, Eric Stevenson. Okay, back to you, Brother Jacob. So what you're saying seems to be correct. There's no outcry from the Bangladesh community leaders or so-called supposedly leaders. If there is, I don't hear it, you don't hear it, and no one sees it. So there is a silence. There is a muzzle on their mouths. Some doesn't want to rock the boat because some, you know what, probably is doing business back at home and back in Bangladesh and want to go back and don't want to rock their boat. You know, but this is not about rocking your boat. This is about justice and standing for righteousness of innocent people who's being slaughtered. You know, and this is America, and you hear, and something has to be done. Action must be taken. I mean, I applaud you for going down to D.C., but we have to go back down there, and we have to plan a rally. We have to send this message out. We have to bring it into the forefront of this presidential campaign and this election as to where the candidates stand on resolution to this problem in Bangladesh. I see you opposing to Donald Trump as well as Kamala Harris. And we need an answer. Who is going to champion this issue? Right now, Joe Biden, he's leaving. So it would be a good thing for him to do something about it right now.
Joe Biden, if you are expecting, as American people, especially immigrant community, what they're expecting from Joe Biden, one thing I don't understand, when George Walker Bush was the president, how many executive power he signed? 20, 30, 40, 50, he just signed the order. Now, what was stopping Barack Obama to sign executive order to solve immigration problem? How and why he didn't do it? Number one. Number two, right now, Joe Biden is not running for president. He is outgoing president. Kamala Harris is running for the presidency. At this time, Joe Biden must sign an executive order to solve immigration problem. There's a 13 million illegal immigrants are living in this country as a law-abiding citizen. Those 13,000 immigrants, if they have a legal status through amnesty, that if Biden sign an executive order, guess what? If Biden is gonna sign that executive order offering amnesty to 13 million people, guess what? Even Republican or any other party come to the power and occupy White House, they have to take this action up to the Supreme Court to cancel that executive order. At this time, Biden is in a position to sign an order. Not only immigration problem, there is another problem. The way America is going, offering arms, ammunition, money to the Israelis to assassinate and kill Palestinian innocent civilians, Biden can sign an executive order and says no more money or no more arms for Israel. As long as you are not negotiating in a good faith to accept two-state solution in Palestine, Biden can solve two of the issue, and these two issues can become the legacy of Joe Biden. I don't know why he's not doing it. And another thing,
good point.
Peaceful people, peaceful American citizens should not vote for Donald Trump. He's not normal. I don't see Donald Trump a normal guy. He cannot be the friend of the lower middle class and middle class people. Forget about poor. Because in my own eyes, I have watched Donald Trump making construction contractor, hundreds of construction contractors used to work for Donald Trump and they did not get paid. And whoever used to work for Donald Trump, either they died or they are in prison. But still this guy want to be the president of America. When was the last time you heard even a convicted felon has that opportunity to run for public office? And this guy is running for president. What the hell is going on in this country?
That's true. Your guess is as good as mine. It's a different day, definitely a new day. But I think the rules is a double standard. Some
absolutely,
and
brother,
some apply to others. You know,
brother Eric Stevenson, you are one of the former public official who tried his best to bring his community up, try to work for them.
I know.
You are being barred. Oh, you cannot run for the conviction. Hiram al-Surat cannot run for the position, but Donald Trump can run for president. What the fuck is this?
Double standard. This is what we just talked about. And you know what? Had me or Montreal or anyone else went along with to get along with the grain and do what was right and be quiet on police brutality, be quiet when it comes to saying feed the poor, be quiet when it says to help the homeless. If we was not vocal on that, guess what? We would still be sitting there.
I know.
But, you know, it's not going to stop the cry. It's not going to stop the fight. It's not going to stop the voice.
I know.
The fight will continue one way or another.
I agree.
And right now, what's going on, like you just said about the Joe Biden, it would be good. But is he fit to do it? Is he going to do it?
Only two things.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden is going to sign an executive order offering amnesty to 13 million immigrants in this country, 13 million illegal, I'm not going to say illegal, undocumented individual living in this country as a law-abiding citizen. If President Biden, outgoing President Biden, is offering them an amnesty with the executive order, he can claim the legacy of him that I gave legitimacy to 13 million people. He could have taken that as a legacy. Another legacy he can have, if he says, next 6 months, we are not going to deal with the state of Israel. If Israel don't agree to negotiate with Palestinians to have a two-state solution over there, no more arms, no more money. I don't know why Joe Biden is not taking that position.
That one, I don't think we're going to see. Amnesty, I don't know. Maybe after the presidential election, if Kamala Harris has her way, then they can't blame it on her. It won't affect her. Maybe he'll do it after. He has until December 31st.
Always remember, Brother Stevenson, in their first term, president cannot make those decisions. All the president wait for the second term because he is not running for the third term. Kamala Harris, she was not being tested yet. At this time, Joe Biden has no liability or responsibility for the future because he is not running for public office anymore. So Joe Biden is in a perfect position to make these two problems solved. I'll tell you one thing. When Barack Obama signed universal health care, we know as the Obamacare, it was a great achievement, great legacy for President Biden. But one thing, he was too softy to negotiate with the Republican. He should have signed the executive order.
Yes, I agree.
To negotiate. And that negotiate was a wrong decision by Barack Obama.
Yes, it was.
At this time, Joe Biden must not negotiate or must not take any advice. I'm telling you one thing. I do not understand. Listen, I have a Jewish girlfriend. I work with Jewish people. I have a Jewish friend. I have nothing against Jewish religion. But he hired Joe Biden take advice from Zionists in regards to the standing of Netanyahu. What do you think? A Zionist is going to advise Biden otherwise?
Yes, yeah, of course. But you have many a majority of the Jewish people of the Jewish faith against Netanyahu and against Zionism.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
And how come Joe
So we
Biden?
can't hold all of the Jewish, because the Jewish people actually of the Jewish faith want the good. They never wanted war. They wanted a ceasefire. But the gung-ho warmongers want to demand justice because there's another plan that's hidden that they want to accomplish. It's not more just about what happened here.
Okay.
What happened here, if it was even Steven, you get more than what happened to you. You killed over 30, 40,000 versus the 200. It was wrong on both sides. Okay? Death is wrong on both sides. We agree. But it's a bigger plan than that. And like you're saying, they're advising him, but the Jewish people, majority, even many rabbis took position against this, and they still today against it. But right now, we want to focus on what could be done in Bangladesh. Is there anything that the United Nations could do?
Yes. United Nations at this time, they can investigate military involvement of killing innocent civilian, because military is killing innocent civilian in Bangladesh, and they are not protecting the civilian getting killed by the Indian mercenaries from the government.
Is there any violation of international law by doing this?
That's a violation of international law. United Nations says those officers who are involved of their own killing innocent civilian, they must not be assigned in United Nations peacekeeping force. But still, Bangladesh is the number 1 and number 2 contributor as a peacekeeping force. So Bangladesh name should be taken out from the.
So what sanctions or action could be taken against the nation or against Bangladesh to stop this?
There is the one provision Bangladesh government signed. That contract been signed in 2013 or 29, I think 2009 or 13. They signed an agreement with the United Nations. In that contract between United Nations and Bangladesh, that Bangladesh is going to send their armed forces services to keep law and order and hold a peaceful situation in African country or South America. Now, there is a provision in that agreement. United Nations put it squarely that forces of Bangladesh must not be involved with the killing of its own people or their human rights violation in their own country. Right now, Bangladesh Armed Forces Services, Bangladesh Rapid Action Battalion, Bangladesh Border Guard, and Bangladesh Police, all of them are involved with the genocide, with the killing of civilians. They are violating civil rights, human rights, every single day. So United Nations are in a good position. They must cancel that agreement and blaming Bangladesh that why are you doing this?
Right. And they need to let the world know and put pressure on them that this stop. It's way too many deaths, and it seems like it's going to continue to some time. Because we thought it was over now, just to know yesterday 100 more or something more killed. It means it's going to go on.
I'm just letting you know that 100 is the official number or unofficial number. I'm a human rights activist, and I have total 200 people.
But just one more killing is too much. Even if it's just one, it's too much.
Too much.
It's too many.
Yes.
You know. So what about the international court? Could Bangladesh be brought up on charges to the international court?
There is lots of Bangladeshi patriots, those who are living in Europe and America. There's a 2 or 3 organizations, including mine. We are the people. We already established a communication with the prosecutor of international criminal justice. His name is Mohammed Karim Khan. We are in touch with that prosecutor. Yes, we are communicating with him to help Prime Minister Hasina and her goons accountable in Bangladesh.
We got to take a quick break and come back and finish up.
Okay.
Well, right there. Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also on Smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com and that's www.millenniumnews24.com and through our social media, Millennium News. See you then. Welcome back to Millennium News 24 Power Talk. I'm your host, Eric Stevenson. We're here with Jacob Milton. Jacob, let's continue. So the International Court, the chairman, Mr. Khan, Mohammed Khan, I think they should try to be able to bring some charges or bring Bangladesh in front of the court like they did with Israel and take some action. The investigative reports speak for themselves. The deaths are there. Wrongful deaths are there. I mean, the world knows about it. So the case is there. The evidence is there. But now action needs to be taken. So what is it that people can do at this point, Mr. Jacob, to get involved or to help?
I would ask you one favor. I would like you to get a permission, police permission, that I would like to hold a rally right in front of Indian consulate in Manhattan. Because if we go there and make a protest, for example, if you take a police permission and if we go there with hundreds of people and we start protesting in front of Indian embassy, genocide in Bangladesh will stop. The illegal prime minister of Hasina, she's going to run away. And India is not going to take liability for Hasina Sheikh anymore. So at this time, I'm asking you and I'm asking for the attention of Bangladeshi patriots, those who are living in America or living in New York, just do one thing that you can do for your society. That is, get a permission. Those who are living in Washington, D.C., take a permission, go in front of Indian embassy, make a protest. You can go to the Department of State that Bangladeshi people are protesting for the last 16 years. Nothing happened. But if you go in front of Indian embassy in Washington, D.C., if you go to every single Indian consulate in America, there will be some change. You are going to see some changes.
How about a press conference in front of the Indian consulate's office?
Tell me again.
How about a press conference?
Press conference is not, you can do a press conference. That's not a bad idea, but you can hold a rally and right after the rally, you can do a press conference.
Yeah, your rally press conference because you want it exposed to the news.
Absolutely.
Especially if one of the major stations picks up, ABC, NBC, whatever.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
It gets out. And of course, Millennium News will always pick up like we do with everything. I mean, you're getting world news right here, Millennium News, where you get no other place. You know, all the other outlets and networks, they show you what they want to show you. Millennium News shows you the world. That's why we're having this discussion right here about Bangladesh.
Yes.
And we're not just having it because we want to just talk about it. We want real solutions and want to take action because justice is an injustice there and it's felt here. And we need to do something from here because we have a more leverage than people there because you can't even vote without being threatened to be killed and so on. You can't even speak without being threatened to be killed. So, you know, it's no democracy. It's like a communism, you know?
It's not a communism. In a communist country, there is no systematic killing of its own citizen by the government. There is not communism. It's a mafia.
Yeah, it's an iron fist rule. Do what I say or die, you know? Yeah. And so I'm sorry to hear that about such a country, because we know so many of our good brothers here from Bangladesh who have so much great culture and rich history and so many good eateries and restaurants to share for the American people to explore and try some of the great foods that come from East Asia. And but to hear this going on, this is what alarms us. And I'm speaking for myself and many other Americans who not from Bangladesh or born in Bangladesh, but who say that this is wrong. And we have a right as citizens to speak to our government and say we ask for action to be taken.
Agree.
You know, and we need to go to get into the United Nations. We need to go back to Washington, D.C., and we need to hold some signs and some rally down at the White House.
True.
You know?
Besides, if anyone else, any Bangladeshi people try to give you a rosy picture of Bangladesh for the last 16 years, if anyone try to give you a rosy picture, stop them. That you are lying.
There's nothing rosy about killing over 1,000 people unjustly. There's nothing rosy about it. That's only planting roses on their grave, you know?
Yeah.
That's the rosy thing about it. You're putting flowers on their grave, but there's nothing good about that. So anybody who's trying to do it is an imposter and trying to cover up for the wrong that's being done. But people are wiser today, and we don't want to accept to hear something like that about Rosie or something so good, because it's not good. And the truth is, wrong is being done and action needs to be taken. They need to remove this prime minister, put a new one in, and by whatever means is necessary. You know, so Jacob, continue what you're doing, but we have to get the pressure out. I'm hoping the viewers here who hears this doesn't just sit down and just say, yeah, you're right. Oh, you're wrong. But if you say, yeah, we're right, take action. If you're from Bangladesh and you hear this message, take action. If it's not for you and your family, it's for your family in Bangladesh or for your own people, or just to stand up for a human rights issue that's unjust. Stand up and take a position.
Agree.
And to be in a Muslim nation under this type of rule is even unacceptable, even in the religion of Islam. So I don't know what is going on over there. If you're allowing Hinduism to rule over a Muslim nation, that's a problem. Something is wrong there. So people need to stand up as men and women, not be afraid, be unafraid, stand up, take action. Like anywhere else, like for anything else. This is a wrong cause. We're not sitting here talking because it's something that's right. We're fighting against what's wrong. And just to hear about the killing, and I would not have this show today have I not heard so much from the outside community here. So many of the Bangladesh communities are saying, we have to do something. I said, well, the only thing we could do is talk about it and get started and take action. Jacob, I know you've been at the forefront doing the best you can. I saw you on some television shows and some reports of you down in Washington. I thought you got elected to the U.S. Senate. But they said, no, he's there at the State Department and with the Congress people fighting. And that's good, and that's where you need to be. But more of us need to be there doing it. I think you should have some signs made and walk outside the White House and giving out flyers. Guarantee the president is going to get the information immediately, regardless of who you think doesn't see it. If you go to the White House, the Secret Service, and have people there, whatever you protested or talking about, they're going to get a flyer and know exactly what's going on. And you could get the message across. I mean, hey, maybe Joe Biden will wake up on the right side and say, you know what, I'm going to do something about this. We can't say no. Nothing tried, nothing done. But we have to take some position. We got to get to the international court. America could send notification or letter to the international court about this as well, if they will. And of course, to the United Nations, they could take a position and intervene and make a statement to the international court as well.
Thank you so much. That's what we need. And at the same time, I need your direct participation. If you can gather some people and get the permission to hold a rally and press conference right in front of Indian consulate in Manhattan, if you can do that.
And the people who's listening, we will hope that they will come out and
I'll make sure people does.
join in for their fight.
Absolutely.
American born people are standing up and fighting their fight for them, not because of them, but because of the injustice for human rights.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
If they could come out, you should be able to come out. It's for your grandparents or for your uncles and your aunts who still left in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Have the decency to fight for your family, your own children, your nephews, your nieces who's still in Bangladesh. They must be terrified at how to live and what to do because of the dictatorship.
Yes.
So, so that's where we at. So we're going to have further talks about this, and we look forward to the press conference / rally at the consulate. So we have to look into the permit process to get that to going. We have a freedom of speech here, so you do have a right to protest, peaceful protest, and we won't get shot like you might in Bangladesh, hopefully.
In Bangladesh, yes.
Yeah, and so you have the right for that, and it's a needed right, and you need to look at it also going to the White House, in front of the White House, and you're allowed to protest there as well.
Absolutely.
You know, they had when Netanyahu was here the other day, they had protesters.
Yeah, that was important.
Security, they moved them further back, but guess what? The protesters got their words out. Netanyahu had to make a comment about what the protesters were saying because he saw it coming in the sides. So word got out. Word got right onto the floor of Congress of what the protesters were saying.
True.
So there is power in it. We just got to take the action. So those who's listening, hopefully you join in for the fight of yourself, the fight of your own family, the fight of what's right, the good side, not the bad side, the right side, not the unright side, because it's somebody else today, tomorrow could very well be your own self. So Jacob, if you want to say anything in the last 2 minutes to the viewers, go ahead.
Brother Stevenson, I'm really grateful to you and grateful to Millennium TV 24 and my brother Mohammed Noor Tapadar to arrange this type of talk show and talk about Bangladesh and the suffering of Bangladeshi people. And in the future, we're going to work together and we are going to have that conversation going, and we're going to do something together in the future so that Bangladeshi people can live peacefully under the elected government. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
How can the people contact your organization?
My Deccan organization is called legalnetwork.us. No, I'm sorry. legalnetworkusa.com.
Legalnetworkusa.com.
Or
that's simple enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, legalnetworkusa.com. Or time is running out. I have to go. But my telephone number is 917-722-1405. 917-722-1405. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Milton. And you're a champion. Continue on. May Allah bless you and continue to strengthen and protect you as you move forward in the fight for justice.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Thank you very much. And the viewers, thank you for another Power Talk session and day here, and look forward to another session with you. Thank you.